so much more attractive than everybody else. Could this be vanity? No, nature is lovely and rejoices in her loveliness. I am a child of nature, and I take after my mother.
Go Begin by putting your arm around your waist. There. Now oblige me by letting your head rest on your shoulder. Like that? Yes, I am much obliged to you. Now then, yes. It's simple torture.
There, now, it's only for a month.
No, it's no use deluding yourself with falsehoods.
So what do you mean?
My child, my poor child, how shall I break it to her? My bride it was to have been.
Was to have been?
Yes, you can never be mine.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I have just ascertained by the Mikado's law that when a married man is beheaded, his wife is buried alive.
Buried alive?
Buried alive, a most unpleasant death.
I call it a beast of a death.
On whose authority?
Well, I consulted with Pubal, my solicitor.
May have been mistaken.
Well, so thought I, so I consulted the Attorney General, the Lord Chief Justice, the Master of the Rolls, the Judge Ordinary, and the Lord Chancellor. They were all of the same opinion. Never knew such unanimity in a point of law in my life.
But stop a bit, this law has never been put into effect.
One object, you see. Flirting is the only crime punishable by decapitation. Married men, they never flirt.
Oh, I forgot about that. But does this mean that my dreams of married happiness are at an end?
Darling, I love you with all my heart. I don't think I'll ever love anyone half as much as I love you. But, my own, when I agreed to marry you, my pet, I didn't realize that I was to be buried alive in a month.
Oh, nor did I. This is the very first I've heard of it.
It makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does make a difference, of course.
You see, burial alive, it's such a stuffy death.
Oh, it's a ghastly death.
You see my difficulty, don't you?
Well, I do see your difficulty, but I also see my own. If I insist on you keeping your promise, then I condemn you to an awful death. And if I release you, you can marry Coco at once.
He's out to do, he's one after you. When the time has come to marriage, when the maiden whom you cherish must be slaughtered too. Here's a howdy-do, here's a howdy-do.
Here's a pretty mess, in a month or less. I must die without your wedding, this the bitter tears I'm treading like the mother's dress. Here's a pretty mess, here's a pretty mess.
Here's the state of things, to her life she clings. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit her notion, burial it brings. Here's the state of things, here's the state of things. With the passion that's intense you worship and adore, but the laws of common sense you wanted to ignore. If what was in is true, 'tis death to marry you. Here's the pretty state of things, here's a pretty how-do-do. Here's a pretty state of things, a pretty state of things.
Here's a howdy-do.
Here's for if what he says is true, and cannot marry you, here's a pretty, pretty state of things. Here's a pretty howdy-do.
I'm sure you are.
But you see, I'm quite embarrassed.
I'm certain of it.
I can't think of anything more distressing than having one's marriage called off at the last moment. But you shan't be disappointed at the wedding. You shall come to mine.
I'm afraid that will be quite impossible.
Why so?
Because life without Yum Yum is impossible. Today I die.
What do you mean?
This afternoon I'm going to commit the Happy Dispatch.
Oh, pardon me, but I can't allow that.
Why not?
Well, hang it all, you're under contract to die by the hands of a public executioner. If you go off and kill yourself, what's to become of me? I shall have to be executed in your place.
Would rather seem so, wouldn't it?
Well then, what is it?
Mikado and his suite are approaching the cities, and they will be here in 10 minutes.
Mikado is coming to see if I carry out his orders. Now look here, this is serious. A bargain's a bargain, and you mustn't go frustrate the ends of justice by going off and committing suicide. As a man of honor, a gentleman, you are bound to die ignominiously at the hands of the public executioner.
Very well then. Behead me.
What, now?
Certainly, at once.
Chop it off, chop it off.
Well, you don't think I go about prepared to execute a gentleman at a moment's notice? I've never even stink bug.
Still, as Lord High Executioner,
As Lord Executioner, I have to execute it in a month. Well, I'm not ready yet. I don't know how it's done. I'm going to take lessons. I need to begin with a guinea pig and work my way through the animal kingdom until I come to a second trombone. You don't think as a humane man I could have accepted the post of public executioner if I hadn't loved the duties purely nominal? I can't kill you. I can't kill anything. I can't kill anyone.
Come, dear fellow, we all have unpleasant duties to perform from time to time. Now, where's the harm? And if I don't mind, why should you? And remember, sooner or later, it must be done.
Constant. I'm not so sure. What do you mean? Why should I kill you? If making an affidavit that you've been executed would do just as well. There are plenty of witnesses. The Lord Chief Justice, the Lord High Admiral, the Lord Secretary for the State Department, the First Lord of the Treasury, and the Chief Commissioner of Police.
But where are they?
There they are. And they'll all swear to it, won't you?
am I to understand that all of us high officers of state are required to perjure ourselves in order to ensure your safety?
You'll be grossly insulted, as usual.
Will this insult be cash or visa?
A ready money transaction.
Not useful this one. Oh, very well. Say your fiction, and I'll endorse it. That may Friday, my luck.
But what about Yum Yum?
Young, father, young. Commissioner. Take her. And marry her. Only go away and never come back again. Ah, here she is. Yum Yum, are you particularly busy?
Not particularly.
Have you 5 minutes to spare?
Yes.
And then go along with His Grace the Archbishop of Titipu, and he'll marry you at once.
You're bound to be there.
No. Questions, only do as I tell you, and like you will explain it.
When?
Not for worlds, but my cousin is coming. No doubt to ascertain if I carry out his decree. If he finds you here, I shall have the greatest day of persuading him I'll beheaded you. Close thing that, for getting comes.
let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make each prisoner pledge, unwillingly represent the source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment. All prosy dull society sinners who chatter and bleat and bore are sent to his sermons from mystical Germans who preach from ten till four. The amateur tenor whose vocal villainies all desire to shirk shall during off hours exhibit his powers in Madame Tussauds waxwork. The lady who dies with chemical yellow or stains her gray hair puce or pinches her finger is painted with vigor with permanent walnut juice. The idiot who in railway carriages scribbles on window panes, we only suffer to ride in a buffer in parliamentary trains. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make each prisoner pledge, unwillingly represent the source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object all sublime, he will achieve his time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make his prisoner pledge, unwillingly represent the source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
The advertising quack who wearies with tales of countless cures, his teeth I've enacted shall all be extracted by terrified amateurs. The musical singer attends a series of masses and fugues and ops, by Bach interwoven with Spohr and Beethoven and classical Monday pops. The billiard sharp whom anyone catches, his goons extremely hard. He's made to dwell in a dungeon cell on a spot that's always barred. And there he plays extravagant matches in witless finger skulls on a cloth untrue with a twisted cue and elliptical billiard ball. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time. Let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make each prisoner pledge, unwillingly represent the source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object all sublime, he will achieve his time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make each prisoner pledge, unwillingly represent the source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
I am honored and being permitted to welcome Your Majesty. I guess the object of Your Majesty's visit, your wishes have been attended to. The execution has taken place.
Oh, there's been an execution, has there?
Yes, the coroner has just handed me his certificate.
I am the coroner.
And this is the certificate. At Titipu, in the presence of the Lord Mayor, the Lord Chancellor, the Lord Chief
They were
Justice.
all present, Your Majesty. I counted them myself.
Very good house. I wish I'd been there for the performance.
And a very tough fellow he was. Man of gigantic strength. His struggles were terrific. It was a remarkable scene.
Describe it.
A criminal cried, he dropped him down in a state of wild alarm. With a frantic, fearful, frightful frown, I raised my big right arm. I seized him by his little pigtail, and on his knees fell he. As he squirmed and struggled and gurgled and gobbled, I drew my snakeless knee. My snickers knee. Oh, never shall I forget the cry of shrieky me, as I gnashed my teeth when from its sheath I drew my snickers knee.
This is most disturbing.
off with an expression of regret.
We really hadn't the least notion?
Oh, well, of course you haven't. How could you? Well, come, my good fellow. Don't distress yourself. How could you tell? If a man of exalted rank chooses to disguise himself as a second trombone, he must bear the consequences. It really distresses me to see you take on so. I'm sure he thoroughly deserved all he got.
We are infinitely obliged to your Majesty.
Much obliged, Your Majesty.
Very much obliged, Your Majesty.
Not a bit. Don't mention it. How could you tell?
No, of course, we couldn't tell who the gentleman really was.
It wasn't written on his forehead, you know.
It might have been written on his pocket handkerchief, except the Japanese don't use handkerchiefs.
I forget the punishment for compassing the death of the heir.
Punishment?
Yes. There's something lingering with boiling oil in it, I fancy. Something of that sort. I think boiling oil occurs in it, but I'm not sure. I know, it's something humorous, but lingering. With either boiling oil or melted lead. Come, don't fret. I'm not a bit angry.
If your Majesty would accept our assurance,
Of course.
I knew nothing about it.
I wasn't there.
That's the pathetic part of it. Unfortunately, the full of it act says, encompassing the death of the heir apparent. There's not a word in it about a mistake.
No.
Or, not knowing.
No.
Or, having no notion.
No.
Or, not being there. There should be, of course.
Yes.
But there isn't. That's the slovenly way in which these acts were always drawn. However, cheer up. It'll be all right. I'll have the act changed. Next session. Now, about your execution, we'll have to luncheon soon. Can you wait till then?
Yes, we can wait till then.
Fine, then we'll make it after luncheon.
I don't want any lunch.
I'm really very sorry for you all, but it's an unjust world, and virtue only triumphs in theatrical performances. See how the fates their gifts are not, for A is happy, B is not, yet B is worthy, I dare say, of more prosperity than A.
Is he more worthy?
I should say he's far more brave, dear, more than they.
Yet A is happy, oh so happy,
Laughing, papa, shouting, papa, lifting, poking, papa, ever joyous, ever gay, happy, undeserving, gay, ever joyous, ever gay, happy, undeserving, gay.
If I were fortune, which I'm not, B should enjoy A's happy lot, and A should die in misery. That is assuming I am me.
But should they perish?
That should be, of course, assuming I am me.
B should be happy, oh so happy, laughing, papa, shouting, papa, lifting, poking, papa, but for them to die is he,
Wretched meritorious be,
but for them to die is he,
wretched meritorious be. I must you, Mattice, with your bowing of your head in deference to a man of pedigree
Very cooperative detail designed to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise bald and unconvincing narrative.
Cooperative details, indeed. Cooperative fiddlesticks.
Oh, when you were just as bad as he is, what with your cockable stories about catching his eye, his whistling in air.
What about your big right arm?
Yes, and your snicker-sneeze.
Never mind about that now. There's only one thing to be done. Anki-Boo has started him. He must be brought back to life. Once. Here he comes. Anki-Boo, we've got good news for you. Very brief.
But it's too late. I'm a dead man and I'm off on my honeymoon.
Not as if something terrible has happened. It seems you are the son of the Mikado.
Yes, but that happened a long time ago.
Is this any time for having personage? Your father is here, and Katisha with him.
My father and Katisha.
Wants you particularly.
And so does she.
Oh, but he's married now.
Oh, bless my heart, what's that got to do with it?
Well, Katisha claims me in marriage. I can't marry her because I'm already married. And she'll insist on my execution. And if I'm executed, my wife will be buried alive.
Yes, I don't see much to be done.
Well, there is one chance. If you were to marry Katisha, she would have no further claim on me. And I could come to life again without any fear of being put to death.
I marry Katisha.
Yes, I really think it's the only course.
Dear girl, have you seen her? She's something appalling.
Ah, but that is only her face. She has a left mouth, which people don't want us to see.
And I am told that her right heel is admired by connoisseurs.
You certainly inclined to put my heart on the lady's right heel.
It comes to this. With Katisha single, I prefer to remain a disembodied spirit. With Katisha married, existence is as welcome as the flowers of spring. The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, we promise a fairy sunshine. As we merrily dance and we sing, tra-la, we welcome the hope that they bring, tra-la, of a summer of roses and wine, of a summer of roses and wine. And that's what we mean when we say that a thing is welcome as flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la.
The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, have nothing to do with the case. I've got to take under my wing, tra-la, a most unattractive old thing, tra-la, with a caricature of a face, with a caricature of a face. And that's what I mean when I say or I sing, oh, bother the flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, oh, bother the flowers of spring.
eating the cauldron.
Katisha, behold the suppliants at your feet. Your figurative feet. Katisha, mercy.
Mercy? Had you mercy on him? See here you have slain my love. He did not love me, but he would have loved me in time. I am an acquired taste. Only the educated palate can appreciate me. I was educating his palate when he left. Well, he is dead, and where shall I find another? It takes years to train a man to love me. Am I to go through this weary round again, and at the same time implore mercy for those who robbed me of my prey? I mean my pupil. Just as his education was on the point of completion. Oh, where shall I find another?
Here! Here!
Shall I find another? What?
Katisha, for years I have loved you with a white-hot passion that is slowly but surely consuming my very vitals. Oh, shrink not from me. If there is aught of woman's mercy in your heart, turn not away from a lovesick suppliant whose every fibre thrills at your tiniest touch. True it is that under a poor mask of disgust I have endeavoured to hide the passion whose inner fires are broiling the soul within me. The fire will not be smothered. It defies all attempts of extinction, and breaking forth all the more eagerly for its long restraint, declares itself in words that cannot be schooled, that will not be weighed, that must not be too harshly criticized. Katisha, I dared not hope for your love. But I will not live without it, darling.
You, whose hands still ripped with the blood of my betrothed, dare to address words of passion to a woman you have so foully wronged?
I do. Accept my love, or I perish on the spot.
Go to! Who knows so well as I that no one ever yet died of a broken heart?
You know not what you say. Listen. On a tree by a river, a little tit sang willow, tit willow, tit willow. And I said to him, Dicky bird, why do you sit singing willow, tit willow, tit willow? Is it weakness of intellect, birdie, I cry, or a brow of worm in your little inside? With a shake of his paw, little head he replied, oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. He slapped at his chest as he sat on that bough, tit willow, tit willow. And a cold perspiration he sprinkled his brow, tit willow, tit willow, tit willow. He sobbed and he sighed, and a gurgle he gave, and he plunged himself into the bill he lay, and an echo rose from suicide's grave. Oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. Now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name is willow, tit willow, tit willow. That was blighted affection that made him exclaim, oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. And if you remain callous and obdurate I shall perish as he did, and you will know why, though I probably shall not exclaim as I die. Oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow.
Love,
He really did.
all on account of a cruel little hen.
Yes.
Poor little chap.
It's an affecting tale, and quite true. I knew the bird intimately.
Did you? Must have been very fond of her.
His devotion was something extraordinary.
Poor little chap. And if I refuse you, will you go and do the same?
At once!
No! You mustn't! Anything but that! Oh, I'm a silly little goose!
You are.
And you won't hate me because I'm a little teeny, weeny, bloodthirsty, will you?
Won't you? Oh, Katisha, is there not beauty even in bloodthirstiness?
My idea exactly.
Yes, I like to see it hike from the Congo or the Niger, and especially when flashing on its tail. Yet, in spite of all my neatness, if I have a little weakness, it's a passion for a flight of thunderbolts. If that is so, sing very down, very it's evident, very taste of one. Away we'll go, and merrily, merry go, heartily, merry the day is done. There's beauty in extreme old age. Do you fancy you're elderly enough? Information I'm requesting on a subject interesting is a maiden all the better when she's tough. I'm enough to marry you thing. Won't you wait until you're 80 in the shade? There's a fascination frantic in a ruin that's romantic. Do you think you are sufficiently decayed? If that is so, sing very out, very it's evident, very out, taste of one. Then we'll go and merrily, merry go, heartily, very the day is done. If that is so, sing very out, very it's evident, very out, taste of one. Then we'll go and merrily, merry go, heartily, very the day is done. Sing merrily, 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 merry go, heartily, very the day is done.
Now we've had a capital lunch, and we're quite ready. Have all the painful preparations been made?
Your Majesty, all is prepared.
Then, bring on the unfortunate gentleman and his two well-meaning but misguided accompanies.
Mercy for Coco, mercy for Petty, mercy even for Pooh-Bah.
I beg your pardon.
Mercy even for Pooh-Bah.
Mercy, my husband that was to be is dead, and I have just married this miserable object.
You've not been long about it.
We were married before the registrar.
I am the registrar.
I see. But my difficulty is that as you have slain the heir apparent,
The heir apparent is not dead.
bless my heart, my son!
And your daughter-in-law elected.
Traitor, you have deceived me.
Yes, I think you are entitled to a little explanation. But you'd better give it whole than in pieces.
Well, it's like your this, Majesty. It's true, I stated I had killed Nike-Boo.
Yes, with most affecting particulars.
A merely cooperative detail designed to give our...
Would you refrain from putting in your oar? It's like this. Your Majesty says, let a thing be done. Well, it's as good as done. Practically it is done, because your Majesty's will is law. Majesty says, kill the gentleman, and the gentleman is told off to be killed, and consequently he's as good as dead. Practically he is dead. And if he is dead, then why not say so?
I see. Oh, yes, nothing could possibly be more satisfactory.
For he's gone and married young. Your language may vary, all will be merry. I think you had better succumb.
Come.
And join our expressions of love.
On this subject I pray you be dumb. Your notions, though many, are not worth a penny. The word for your guidance is mum. With